The British Rail Class 35, better known as the Hymek, was one of the most distinctive diesel locomotives ever to run on Britain's railways. Built between 1961 and 1964, these diesel hydraulic machines were designed specifically for the Western region, at a time when British Rail was experimenting with lighter, more modern traction under the modernisation plan of 1955. A total of 101 Hymeks were constructed, numbered D7000 to D7100. They were intended to fill a vital gap in the fleet, powerful enough for express passenger work, yet versatile enough to handle freight, parcels and secondary services. Compact, muscular and unmistakable in appearance, they quickly earned a strong following among crews and enthusiasts alike. The Hymeks were built by Bayer Peacock, Hymek Limited, a unique joint venture combining British and German engineering expertise. At their heart was the Maybach MD870 engine, making them the most powerful single-engined diesel hydraulic locomotives operating in Britain at the time. Unlike the larger warship and Western classes, the Hymek was not based on an existing German design, but was uniquely British, styled by industrial designers Wilkes and Ashmore. When first introduced in 1961, Hymeks were used mainly on secondary passenger services around Bristol, including Paddington to Hereford, and semi-fast services to Wales and the West Country. As confidence grew, they were trusted with heavier duties, including Paddington to Cardiff and Swansea expresses, even displacing mighty King-class steam locomotives. These trains were often heavier than the Hymeks had been designed for, and once more powerful Type 4 diesels became available, they were gradually pushed back onto lighter work. Beyond passenger services, Hymeks proved themselves as true mixed-traffic locomotives. They worked pickup goods, parcels, express freight, ballast trains, and inter-regional passenger services right across the Western region. They could be seen from London Paddington through Bristol and South Wales, up to Worcester and Hereford, and as far as Birmingham and the west of England, though they were rarely seen west of Plymouth. One of the most fascinating chapters in the Hymek story came on the Lickey Incline, one of the steepest mainline gradients in Britain. Here, Hymeks were used as banking locomotives, pushing heavy freight trains uphill from Bromsgrove to Blackwell. However, the incline exposed a flaw in their hydraulic transmission. At exactly the speed needed for banking, the locomotives would hunt between first and second gear, causing excessive wear and overheating. Crews solved the problem by manually locking out first gear, a simple but effective workaround that kept trains moving. On the heaviest trains, as many as 3 Hymeks could be working together. Visually, the Hymeks were among the smartest diesels of their era. Early examples appeared in dark Brunswick green with a lime green stripe along the body, ivory window surrounds, and grey roofs. Later, yellow warning panels were added to the cab fronts, followed by BR Rail Blue under the corporate identity scheme, first with small yellow panels and eventually with full yellow ends. Like many hard-working locomotives, the Hymeks were involved in a number of incidents. The most serious occurred in December 1971, when D7013 was involved in a collision at Portsmouth and Southsea, injuring passengers and railway staff. The locomotive was badly damaged and withdrawn shortly afterwards. Despite their popularity and solid performance, the Hymeks had a surprisingly short working life. By the late 1960s, British Rail had decided that diesel hydraulic locomotives were non-standard, especially with the introduction of new air-conditioned coaches that required electric train heating. The National Traction Plan called for unreliable or non-standard classes to be eliminated, and the entire Western region hydraulic fleet was marked for early withdrawal. Withdrawals began in 1971 and were complete by 1975, with the Hymeks replaced largely by Class 37 diesel-electric locomotives cascaded from other regions. Thankfully, the story did not end in the scrapyard. 4 Hymeks have been preserved, with examples operating or under restoration on heritage railways, including the West Somerset Railway, the Severn Valley Railway, and the East Lancashire Railway. Their survival ensures that this bold and experimental chapter of British railway history is not forgotten. The Hymek even found its way into fiction. In the Railway series by the Reverend W. Awdry, a Class 35 appears as D7101, later named Bear, further cementing the Hymeks' place in railway folklore. If you've enjoyed this journey through the rise and fall of the Hymeks, please give the video a like, share it with fellow railway fans, and subscribe to the channel for more stories from Britain's railways, past and present.